He was born into power, but she was born to change the world. A genius love story. Based on a true story of love, science, and impossible choices. Part 1. The Girl Who Wanted to Change the World. In early 2021, Eliza A. arrived in Geneva with a backpack, a scholarship from a small Central Asian government program, and one burning obsession: to understand the mechanics of human consciousness. She was 21 and had already completed a degree in physics, while working night shifts in cafes to support her family. She was brilliant but invisible. Her dream wasn't wealth. It was to create a system that could detect neurological decay years before symptoms emerged. Her belief? If the world could map the mind the same way it maps space, it could heal more than brains. It could heal relationships, trauma, even loneliness. Her professors at the University of Geneva called her quietly radical. She didn't speak unless she had something precise to say. But inside, she carried centuries of suppressed ambition of women like her, born in places where genius had no stage. By 2023, she was working as a part-time research assistant at CERN. She was also waitressing on weekends in an upscale bar along Lake Geneva. That's where she met Adrian Keller. Part 2. The First Encounter. It was February 2023. Snow fell like dust across the lakefront when Adrian entered the bar. He was wearing a charcoal coat with a scarf tucked inside, and everything about him said he belonged somewhere far away, probably a private jet, a house with a vineyard, conversations with economists. He took a table in the corner and ordered a single glass of Islay Scotch. Eliza noticed he had a leather moleskin notebook open. She refilled his water and asked, "What are you writing?" He looked up and smiled, not the arrogant kind. The kind that had forgotten how to smile properly. "Math," he said. "Kind of like poetry, but colder." That was the beginning. Part 3. Weekly conversations. He kept coming back every Friday. Always alone. Always sitting at the same table. Over time, their conversations stretched from 10 minutes to 2 hours. He never flirted. Neither did she. They talked about quantum systems, statistical cognition, ethics in neurotech. He was a financial data scientist from Zurich, but clearly more than that. She once joked he probably belonged to one of those old Swiss families who had gold buried in vaults no one had access to. He didn't deny it. Eventually, she asked, "Why are you here every week?" He said quietly, "Because I haven't met anyone who scares me into thinking more. Until you." Part 4. Secrets and Sacrifices. One night in June 2023, Adrian asked her to come with him to a private library in Bern. "You'll love it," he said. "It's not public, but there's an older iLab no one uses. You can read there all day." She hesitated. "Are you trying to impress me?" "No," he said. "I'm trying to be useful to someone who might change the world." She went. And it was everything he promised: peaceful, untouched, filled with books and vintage tech manuals. But it came with a cost. That night, he told her the truth. "My family owns a portion of Keller Hess, the holding company that funds everything from arms deals to climate research. I live in a world where marriages are arranged, silently, and appearances are choreographed. If we were seen together, you'd be branded. Your work would be questioned, and my future would be redirected." She felt like choking. "So what are you saying?" "I want to fund your research. Discreetly. Anonymously. But you'd never be able to say where it came from. And we'd have to stop seeing each other." Part 5. Her choice. She didn't take the money. She disappeared from the bar, blocked his number, buried herself in her PhD work, sometimes not leaving the lab for 48 hours. Weeks passed. No word. She missed him with a pain that felt physical, but she had known that feelings like theirs came with expiration dates. In September 2023, her brainwave prediction algorithm won her a grant from the European Research Council. She cried in the lab bathroom for 20 minutes after reading the acceptance letter, not because she had done it without him, but because a part of her had hoped she wouldn't have to. Part 6, the last letter. In December 2023, she received a small package in her university mailbox. No name. Inside, an encrypted flash drive and a handwritten letter in blue ink. Eliza, you were never just a girl I liked. You were the only person who didn't treat me like an equation to solve. I've started a silent fund for underrepresented women in neural research. You'll never see my name on it, but you'll see the results. Keep building the world you believe in. She never replied, but she carried the letter in her wallet for months. Part 7, the breakthrough. In July 2025, Eliza was on stage in Paris at the Global Cognitive AI Summit, presenting a live demonstration of CQMI, Cognitive Quantum Mapping Interface, a tool that could detect early signs of Alzheimer's, PTSD, and neuroplastic collapse with 92% accuracy. Her face lit up all over science journals. Nature Neuroscience ran a cover story. The quiet genius who reshaped the mind. The world knew her name, but in every photo, she wore the same pendant around her neck. A tiny silver fractal, the same one she had once seen in Adrian's notebook. During their second conversation, no one ever asked about it. No one ever knew. Part 8. Reunion. In late 2025, at a private think tank meeting in Lucerne, she saw him again. He was with investors. Older, more tired, but still him. He didn't approach her, but when she walked past, she whispered without stopping, "You did keep your promise." He turned to her, eyes soft. "So did you." They didn't need more words. Sometimes, love wasn't a life lived together. It was a life transformed by the presence of the other. Epilogue. Eliza now teaches at the Max Planck Institute, balancing neurotech development with public health advocacy. She has refused 3 commercial buyout offers for her CQMI system. She believes in accessibility. The Keller Foundation continues funding global education anonymously. Somewhere out there, in different cities, at different times, they read each other's publications. And once a year, Eliza receives a new fractal-shaped envelope with a one-line message. Still listening. A.